bullets that we're dodging, hide the bones in the garden, never beg for a pardon. Cash in before the house rules, never break from the ground rules. Got too high off our own fumes. We keep playing with fire, knowing it's a dangerous game. Yeah, we keep playing with fire. They can smell it from a mile away. Got some black market romance, body with a cold hand, crimes no one gets away with. Tone for, like gold you trade your soul for. Had enough but gotta have more. We keep playing with fire, knowing it's a dangerous game. Yeah, we keep playing with fire. They can smell it from a mile away. So we keep playing with fire. Never learn, you never learn. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Never learn, you never learn. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. You never learn, you never. We keep playing with fire, knowing it's a dangerous game. Oh, yeah, we keep playing with fire, fire. They can smell it from a mile away. Yeah, we keep playing with fire, knowing it's a dangerous game. Yeah, we keep playing with fire. They can smell it from a mile away. So we keep playing with fire.
Good evening, everybody. I am Uncle Mike, your favorite YouTuber's favorite uncle. And here we are on another live stream here on Thursday evening. Still playing around with Microsoft Flight Simulator on the Xbox Series S. Let's go ahead and jump right into the simulator here. I have loaded up Sedona. That's where you start here, pretty much in the simulator if you do the flight training stuff. And I have got the Thrustmaster HOTAS One flight stick, and been noticing some, not necessarily problems, but just issues with it. I had set up the sensitivity and everything, and then I noticed, even I think it was just the last live stream that I did, and it just seemed like I was all over the place with the controls. It seemed tough, basically. And so for that reason, then I went into the sensitivity for the Thrustmaster HOTAS One, and all the sensitivities were wiped out. They were all just gone. And so a little concerning there. I did then look it up on the interweb, and come to find out, it seems like there's a bug, or there needs to be a patch or something like that. Something is just not coming through that actually saves all of the Thrustmaster HOTAS One sensitivity and settings and everything like that. So one of the things that we're going to do here this evening, even though we're flying in the morning at Sedona, is I am going to go ahead and explain my sensitivity settings that I like with the HOTAS One. I like the flight stick. I like the throttle. I like the flight stick. The buttons stay mapped and all of that. It's just the sensitivity just gets a little weird. So, and it just doesn't keep from when I shut down the flight sim. But I guess people know that, and so. But here we are. We're in the 152. And we're basically ready to go off runway 21 here in Sedona. And so what I figured tonight what we would do is we would do some pattern work, fly around the traffic pattern, do some touch and go, some full stops, play around with the sensitivity, because obviously when you are flying in the traffic pattern, you are flying, you are on the stick and rudder. So I figured, why the hell not? Why not just go ahead and jump right in? And that could be a great way then for us to examine, play around with, and kind of figure out some of the sensitivities, because every time I'm having to reset the sensitivity. So one other thing else that seems to reset, and I want to make sure that here this assistance is off, and that is under piloting, that auto trim is off. Okay, so I think I've got everything off except for the ATC stuff. So that's good right there. Let's jump into the controls here. I have a keyboard, so I have mapped things on a keyboard. I clearly got my controller. And now here's the Thrustmaster of HOTAS One. I don't know if it's HOTAS or Hot Ass. I kind of like Hot Ass. So we're going to play around with the hot ass sensitivity here. And so if I go into sensitivity, and then it pulls up the calibration data, but it would help if I'm actually on select the hot ass, and then go into sensitivity. You can see that everything's been wiped out here. So joystick axis 1 is the throttle. To be honest with you, I don't mind the throttle where it's at. It doesn't seem to be a problem there. Axis 2 is then rudder. That's the twist on the joystick, and that definitely needs the sensitivity needs to go ahead and get on a curve. So I kind of like just a little bit of that, and then also I take out, or I put in, then that way it takes out any if I hit it or something. So I put about 5% of dead zone in there. The next sensitivity here is then pitch, so up and down, pulling up and back on the joystick. That definitely needs quite a bit of sensitivity. I am actually going to go with 60 to try that. I've been trying at about 60. And the reason being is just because that's pitch control, and that's one of the most sensitive axes on the aircraft. So I set that to 60. And then you've got right and left, which doesn't really, I also want to set a 5% dead zone. Then you have roll axis, so left and right, ailerons. Those also need to be knocked down. I like about 50% on each. So you get this. There we go. I like that. Also, I put a dead zone on it. That seems to really work out for me. And then there is another axis on the hot ass. I just like saying that. So on the hot ass, axis 5, underneath the throttle, we've got a rocker switch for our fingertips, and I have programmed in, I think it's default too, but I switched them, where you can then do elevator trim with that. So that's that right there, and I want that pretty low because I don't want that to be really crazy. So if I just kind of tap it, I just do a little bit of trim in both directions, nose up and nose down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And it doesn't really have much of a dead zone. It doesn't, it's spring, or if you hit it, you've got to actually, got to press it. So that's what I set up here. That seems to work out for me. And the issue with the hot ass flight stick is that even though you come in here and you say done, and then you apply and save, it saves it, but as soon as you leave the game, it wipes it out. So that's what I set up for the sensitivity on the hot ass flight stick. And that makes it now where I can pretty much fly this like a sim, where I now have pretty much full control over the whole airplane. So now it's not kind of like a game anymore. It really is a simulator. So now let's go ahead and jump back into the airplane. Here we are. Sedona is looking nice and sweet here in the early morning. Look at that. Here in our little 152. I figure like I said, we fly the 152 in the pattern. Reason being is no autopilot, nothing like that. We've actually got to fly the airplane. So that is why I chose this. And that way then as we fly, and as we don't like one of the patterns, if something is, is too sensitive or is just off, we can come in for a full stop landing, taxi off, taxi over to the ramp, or I don't think there's much traffic, so just stop on the runway, change the sensitivity, and do another pattern and see how that goes. Because, when you really want to fly, you want to fly. There's some other airplanes out here that don't have autopilots and all of this. So you really have to then fly them. And so trim and the sensitivities on the joystick does matter. So I got my coffee. Everybody's got to have their coffee. So yeah, so here we are. Let's go ahead and get in the air. Let's go and get in the cockpit, and let's go around here. Taking off runway 21. And so we're gonna kind of standard as what you learn in flight training here for the flight training missions in the sim. Full power. Dial in 10 degrees of flaps. We'll kind of keep the nose down, accelerate, pitch up to 75 knots or so. Climb up for a little bit, get those flaps up, and then just do a normal left traffic pattern. Easy as pie, no problem. All right, let's go. Let's go flying. So, all right, let's go ahead and look down here, and parking brake is on. Parking brake is now off, and 10 degrees of flaps is already set. Oh, by the way, we have a drone shot here if we want it. So there's a drone shot that I have now set up for us. So, all right, here we go. Everything's looking good. I like what I'm seeing. All right, full throttle. And is the parking brake? Am I in? Oh, I'm still in sim mode here because I had this whole thing on active pause. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and put on the parking brake again, and then go ahead and press the. Okay, here we go. I had active pause on. That was what was happening there. So. All right, airspeed's alive. Rudder's still a little 55. Let's go ahead and there we go. Let's keep the nose down. Let's accelerate with our 10 degrees of flaps here. 65 knots. All right, we're accelerating nicely, bringing up the flaps. All right, 75 knots. All right, let's go ahead and work on pitch here. Get trimmed up a little bit. There we go. That's looking nice. Let's get a flight out here. Oh, our drone. Oh, I've got the kind of like the normal sway of the drone activated. Probably need to turn that off so it's a little bit nicer. But there we go. Hands off. Got a little bit of turbulence. It looks like. So that's all right. Makes it a little bit more real. Climb up here to about 5,500 feet. Just doing easy for right now. We'll just do an easy pattern. Kind of see how we like the sensitivities we've set up. Got a nice 700 feet per minute climb at 75 knots. Looking good. Go ahead and get the external view. Look at that. We are definitely not flying runway heading. We got stuck in a turn there and I wasn't even paying attention. Not good, not good. Okay, let's go ahead and start our kind of crosswind, but since we already kind of drifted out, that was a real crappy climb out there, not even flying runway heading. Not good, not good. We'll just go ahead and do pretty much a 180, get down here onto 030 on the heading. Get set up on a downwind. Look at that sun. That's just, I'm sure, I mean, I've seen the graphics on the PC and stuff, but here on the Xbox Series S, amazing. Alright, come off the power a little bit into cruise, coming up on 5,900, so we'll just go ahead and get power set up for cruise for the downwind. Add just a little bit of trim. And the trim on the hot ass flight stick here is, it has its own sensitivity, so you just kind of push it in a little bit or a lot, and it just rotates the trim wheel, and the trim wheel is right down there on the pedestal there by the little microphone, so you can see how it's moving there as I do the trim. All right, so we got a little bit of still nose up, like what we've got. There's the airport. We're coming about midfield. Being the tower as I learned it back in the day, just because I flew out at Prescott and it was a controlled airspace with a tower. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and we are slow down just a little bit more here. Get in the white arc of speed. The white arc is where I can safely then deploy flaps. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy a notch of flaps. So let's go ahead and there's our notch of flaps in. Well, I'm kind of liking the sensitivity here. Seems to be got better control of the aircraft, and so things aren't just jerking around here. All right, just slowing it down, getting ready. We're gonna try something here, and we're just gonna try not to get. Hey, how are you? Hey, howdy. Hey, first, thumbs up because you are amazing. Welcome. I am Uncle Mike, your favorite YouTuber's favorite uncle. Just got my Xbox Series S, and here I am working on sensitivity with the hot ass flight stick. I think it's actually HOTAS, but I like saying hot ass. And so we're just doing some pattern work here to practice sensitivity settings and all of that. So, all right. So since I welcomed you in here, it may be a little bit longer. I'm kind of on an extended downwind here to the base. Let's go ahead and see how we are. Let's go ahead and base, and well, there's the airport right out there. All right, we're looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and put in another notch of flaps. So this is no autopilot, it's all general aviation here. So how we doing? How we looking here? I can't see the end of the runway. There we are. Yeah, we'll just do a slow turn to final. We're at 65 knots. Everything's looking good. I think what we could do a full stop and we could reset the rudder. I think the rudder sensitivity is still too much. All right, we're way too high. I'm going to come off the power. I'm still going to get set up for 65 knots here, but we're way high. I'm going to dial in full flaps. Airport's made, no problems here. So now we're looking for 2 white, 2 red there. But we're not going to fly that. We're going to fly a normal, this is a light plane. You can just dive this thing in at 65 knots. I mean, what, So, all right. I'm going to add some power now to maintain 65. Keep my nose down though. I'm just going to change the glide slope here a little bit. All right, we're getting a little low now. We're carrying 60 knots over the fence. All right, coming off the throttle here. Oh, anyway, 2-1. All right, flare. Here we nice. There we go. We're going to do a full stop here. Just stop on the runway and change that sensitivity. There we go. All right. Go ahead and dial up bring in the flaps here for us. So the flaps are coming up now. There's the flaps. Here we are. Look at that. Cute little airplane, little Cessna 152. Alright, we're going to go ahead and set the parking brake. I could do active pause, but we are then going to look here. So, alright, so we're going to come in here. We're going to change that sensitivity. It seemed as if the sensitivity on the rudder was still a little much. So we're going to change that. So we're going to make it less, a little bit more movement required. So I'm going to go to 45%. All right, we're going to try that. Now what is happening here, and the reason why I'm learning this is because I want to actually get it recorded here in my live stream. Whoa, need to lock your seat when you're in the airplane. There we go. Oh. And we're actually fall back like that, and you pull the stick back, you pitch up, huh? You stall, death. All right, so I want to actually get it recorded. The reason being is because there is a bug, if you want to call it, glitch, whatever you want to call it, that the settings of the joystick are not saved once you close Microsoft Flight Sim. The HOTAS One Thrustmaster flight stick sensitivities do not save when you shut down your Xbox. So I kind of want to know what I like, and that way then I can have it recorded, and that way when I boot it back up, yes, I got to go back in and redo the settings every time, but at least I know what they are until we have a patch or something like that. So that is what I am working on right here. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to do another. Going to keep it a little bit tighter this time in the pattern. Keep a little bit sharper eye there on our upwind leg. We got all a little bit crazy there. And might be do a little tighter approach. But, you know, you came in here. You know, Lusitania, you came in here. So I had to welcome you in, right? So, yep. So I went a little bit further down wind than I had planned. So, all right, well, here we are, 3-6 Uncle Mike. All right, all right, parking brake off. Let's do this. Check this rudder now. Oh yeah, so far let's see, that's better right there. That's better right there. Go ahead and dial in our check down there. Yeah, dial in a little bit of. Oh yeah, that's. Yeah, that was much better on the old rudder there. Much better. All right, dialing up just a little bit of down trim. Accelerate here. Stay on runway heading. Look at that. Look at the scenery. I'll eventually here in live streams we'll go check out landmarks. We'll go sightseeing and all this kind of stuff, but just gotta kind of get the simulator down right now, you know. Just gotta kind of figure out, you know, the hype and all that. So just I'm getting comfortable flying because there's some neat airplanes on here that, like I said, don't have autopilots, like the Cessna 152. It doesn't have autopilot. So all right, let's do a little bit tighter pattern here. I can spend so much time in the pattern. I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to keep it real close here. I'm not even going to do a crosswind leg. We're just going to do a 180 right to the downwind. Just keep climbing. So look at that nice morning sun out in Sedona. I will also start to play, you know, do live time and weather and all that kind of stuff. I just haven't because I'm just still learning the simulator here on the Xbox Series S. So this is right out of the box. I haven't done anything. Well, I don't think I can do anything special. So, all right, let's just go ahead and keep climbing up. All right, see, we're much tighter in now. The airport's only about halfway up the strut. Usually they teach you like 2/3 up the strut is where you want to kind of keep the runway up. So we're definitely much closer in. Okay, okay though. All right, you got this. All right. Alright, we're coming midfield. Alright, midfield. Let's go ahead and start slowing down here. Let's go ahead and put in a notch of flaps. Here comes our flaps. Flaps are coming in. I like it. Oops, I didn't want to reset that. There we go. Alright, let's go back in the cockpit. Everything's looking good. Go ahead and slow down here. Maintain traffic pattern altitude. Let's go ahead and slow down to 65 knots. We'll go ahead. Look at that. Where's this? We're tight in right there. Oof. Alright. One reason I just like simulators, and I'm waiting for Kerbal Space Program 2 to come out. The other simulator I'm waiting to come out. I like it because you can just try things. So we just went ahead and dialed in full flaps on downwind. Let's go ahead and get set up here. Need a little bit of down nose trim. Let's go ahead now. Do our 180 to final. Let's see what that is. I still got, I still got power here. So let's go ahead and come back to idle. Let's just see what happens, huh? Let's come back to idle. A little bit of nose down trim. One thing nice about Sedona is you got these landmarks. Oh, a little fast, a little bit too much nose down. A little bit trim up, trim up. Oh, we're way low, way low. This is bad news. This is bad news. In the real world, this is bad news at Sedona. Because you see that topography? See how there's a hill and then a divot and then up onto the runway? That's bad news. You would actually, a lot of times, if there's a wind, you'd actually get sink right there. And so if we actually had a wind right here, we might get put into a sink that we can't get out of because we've got full flaps in. So we should have recognized that earlier. So, okay, so next time we've got to really start on the final. So okay, airport's made now. We're at 65 knots. Over the fence. Let's hold it off. Let's hold it off until stall warning this time. Hold it off. 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 Oh, there's a stall warning right there. A little bit of a bounce right there. Just thing really stalls slow. Really stalls slow. That's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and do a. Right, I think that was good. I like the sensitivity. I like the pitch. I like the rudder, the yaw sensitivity. I think everything looks pretty. It feels pretty good. I like this. I think we can get a little crazy now. So now we can just think this is like our little fighter jet. We go ahead and. All right, let's go ahead and bring up the flaps. Flaps coming up. All right, here we go. Second pattern here. Airspeed's alive. Yeah, this rudder sensitivity is much better now. Not real crazy here. Probably can make it even a little bit less even. All right, climb out here. All right, let's keep it pitch down. A little bit of nose, a little bit of trim there. Let's accelerate faster here. Let's not get a crazy climb going. Let's just keep it. Let's pitch up here. That 2,000 feet per minute, just kind of almost instantaneously. All right, coming up on 55 knots. Let's pitch over, let it accelerate. That's what I like about Flight Simulator. That's why I like playing Kerbal Space Program. Looking forward to Kerbal Space Program 2 here on the next gens, because you get it's a simulator. You ought to try things out, right? All right, we'll go ahead and climb up here to 5,500 before we start our crosswind leg. We're gonna still stay in the pattern. Everything seems to be left and right, seems to be real nice on the joystick. That's like that's full detent to detent right there. I like that. Let's go ahead and start our turn here on the crosswind. Pitch. Pitch is still, I need to take down pitch. Pitch is, you can do it too easy to do accelerated stall right there. So we're just going to go ahead and do a slow turn here on the downwind. Yeah, we're going to need to change the sensitivity on the pitch. Just too easy to do accelerated stall. You heard the stall warning. So you need to make sure that it's a little bit harder to do accelerated stall. We can pull the joystick a little bit more before we get the stall warning. So, all right, 5,800. We'll just keep climbing up here to 6,000 feet. We're now on the downwind here. All right, come back to cruise. I also think the trim can be reset too. It's a little overly sensitive. All right, so this time for landing here, we are going to. So we're just going to keep practicing this. We just went too far on the downwind. So what we're going to do here a little different is, since we're in the white arc for our speed to put down flaps, we are going to go ahead and we are going to dump all the flaps at midfield. Get set up on speed and then do a real close-in approach. That's what we are going to do here. So we're right at 6,000 feet. We're in the white arc at 80 knots. We're midfield. So here comes all the flaps. Got an airplane right out in front of us. See, it's anti-smash lights out there. All right, there we go. Look at that, 65 knots. All right, I'm going to come back to idle. We're going to play here. All right, I'm going to beam the numbers. All right. All right, let's go ahead and turn base to final. 65 knots, looking good. I like it. We're at idle, full flaps. There's that little mountain there. Now you can really see what I was talking about with that valley. If you got a wind coming straight down the runway, you're going to get a sink right there in real life. How are we looking? Looking pretty good. I think we can actually probably head right toward the numbers. Yep. This thing really, with full flaps, this thing really comes down. So next time what we're going to do is we're going to do 2-notch of flaps. Again, purpose of a simulator. Try things out. Yeah, don't just be there and go, this is the exact procedure. I mean, I know that's what the commercial guys, you know, are doing. This is the procedure, right? This is the Alice approach. This is all this, blah, blah, blah. But in general aviation stuff, you know, learn your aircraft. Learn your aircraft. Oops, see, that's up. You might need to hold it off, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off. Alright, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Alright, flaps coming in, full power. Five knots, let's keep it down low, let's keep it down low. Keep it down low and accelerate. Yeah. Down low, accelerate, huh? Alright, now let's go ahead and pitch up, huh? That just brings back memories. Brings back memories of all just the fun times going out and just playing with your airplane, learning the airplane, learning how it flies, the different setups that you can do with it. A little bit of turbulence, a little bit of ground here. Yep, just good times, good times. I was real excited when I found out that the Xbox Series S can really, you know, support Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 here. So I went ahead and got a Series S Saturday, and here I am on my third live stream. A little bit of up trim here. I am just thrilled with this because this is just one of these, you know, it's a true simulator. You're able to learn, play, practice. Man, so much fun. Just so much fun. All right, let's go ahead and again, I'm not trying to spend too much time here in the pattern, so that's why I'm not doing like a true traffic pattern in terms of upwind, crosswind, downwind, base, and all that. We're just kind of doing 180s to downwind, 180s to finals, though. All hand flying here with the Thrustmaster HOTAS One, light stick and throttle. So, all right, again, we are close in. I like it. That's what I want to be. I want to be close in. I don't want none of this way out, slow stuff. I want to get prepared for when we have to do like some of these bush flying missions and all that, where you got these canyons on both sides, and you're gonna have to fly at a tight approach and all this. Mentally work out your pattern. So that'll probably be a different airplane. So, but I do like Cessna 152. I like the simple airplanes though. We'll maybe I'll do this again and we'll be in some type of bush plane. Not a really complicated bush plane. Go ahead and get that trim set up here. But just easy plane. All right, we need to slow down here. We're way fast. We're not in the white arc. Let's slow down. We are beam the tower. Get into that white arc here. I'm just going to come up to idle because we're in the white arc. Full flaps. There we go. White arc, full flaps. There's our full flaps coming in. All right, let's start pitching for 65. Let's see where we're at. All right, yeah, we're gonna keep this one in. We're gonna keep this one much tighter here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn for the numbers. Turn for the numbers. How are we looking? I'm a tall pilot. I have to set up views that represent my height in the cockpit. I've set up views so we can kind of look out, look forward, and look out. 65 knots. 65 knots. I like it. I like it. Where's the number? All right, we're still low. We got. Oh, we did full flaps again. Damn. Forgot we were gonna do 2 notch of flaps. All right. Well, let's practice a go around here. All right. Now let's bring up 1 notch of flaps. We're accelerating. Go to bring up another notch of flaps. Oh, too much trim there, too much trim. All right, bring up the rest of the flaps, accelerate. All right, there we go. Yeah. Looking good. All right, let's go ahead and pitch up, start climbing. Okay, all right, downwind, 2 notch of flaps, 2 notch of flaps. I remember being out just, general aviation like this, 172, going out there to like Winslow, Arizona. Yeah, I learned to fly out here where Sedona actually is at. Man, just go out there. You just, you get some altitude, you just go up and you just pull the power, dump all the flaps. See what happens. See what trim you need to do. What trim is this stuff? Gets the airplane to what speed. You just learn. You just play, you practice, you learn, you have fun. You go out, you chase the little antelope and the deer and all that's running around. You go out and, like highway, 69, going up from Prescott, Arizona. You just go out there and land on the road. Never did that before. All right, slow climb, fast climb here. So let's go ahead and put a little bit nose up trim. Slow down, get a little better positive rate here. All right, let's go ahead and do the same thing. Let's go ahead and do a nice 20-degree bank 180 here to downwind. They'll climb into 6,000 feet. And this time when we land, we're going to do a full stop and we're going to change that sensitivity on the pitch axis. So we're going to make it a little bit still, where it takes a little bit more pull. So. rolling on the downwind. There is Sedona. Straight ahead there is Oak Creek Canyon. Beautiful little canyon out there to drive. You can go trout fishing up there. Like I said, eventually here, once I really kind of figure out the sim and I feel comfortable just you know, sticking rudder here and flying and trimming up and all that, you know, we'll go do some fun flights, you know, and maybe get some people here that, you know, I meet and all that kind of stuff, and then we join up and do some formation flying and flying together and all that. I think there's some communities already do that. I need to join them. That would be fun to do. I think the actual official Microsoft Flight Simulator, like Twitch, you know, people, they do that. So, all right, coming up on traffic pattern altitude 6,000. We finally finished our climb out. Just go ahead and start to come off the throttle here. Level off at 6,000 feet. There we go. A bit of nose up trim. All right, beam the tower. Come on back, come on back. We're gonna come back to idle. 1, 2 notches of flaps. Barely in the white arc. Here come our flaps. So 2 notches of flaps here. All right, go ahead and pitch on over for 65. Whoa, 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 sorry about that. And let's go ahead and turn now. Go ahead, pitch up, just trim up here. A little fast here. Like I said, we're shooting for 65 knots. We're shooting for 65 knots, but with 2 notches of flaps. So we'll see what that glide path gets us. Looks like we're definitely higher now. Oh yeah, that's a much better view right there. That is a much better view right here. I am idle. 2 notches of flaps. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this. Over the fence. Go ahead and go into the flare. Over the trees. I might have skimmed the trees a little much there in my excitement. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. We're on a full stall landing. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Oh yeah. Full stall. You ain't gonna bounce when you do that. Alright, let's bring the flaps up. Go ahead, just exit the runway here. I'm just going to go ahead and go over here to the ramp. Well, I can't remember what I programmed in some differential braking. I can't remember what it is. I think it was this. Yeah, there's programmed in, like I said, left and right differential braking on the keyboard. I'm going to try those out here. Ooh, yeah, you can just snap that thing around. Okay. Come off. Parking brake set. All right, so those are some good patterns there, but I think we've learned some things. So I want to come in here into the controls, into the Thrustmaster HOTAS One, and sensitivity. So pitch, I still think here it needs to be a little bit more of the curve. We're going to go ahead and go to 70. Try that. We're going to do a pattern with that at 70. All right. So now it just takes a lot more to really get it. Okay, so I like that. We've already changed the rudder, but I think we probably make the rudder even. I'm gonna go to 50 on that because it just seems still quite sensitive. I like roll at 50. I think that's spot on. And I think this also needs to go to 70, which is our trim. I think that's gonna do it. I think that is gonna do it. I have a feeling that's gonna be amazing. All right. All right, let's take a look at the airplane. Looking good. There is our drone shot. That's our current drone shot. All right. Let's start the taxi. So parking brake off. Go ahead and dial in 1 notch of flaps, since we are going to go ahead and take off kind of midfield here from Alpha 5. There we are. Looking good. Looking good. All right, let's get in the cockpit. Go. All right. Do this. All right, got a little bit of sensitivity change. We'll see how that plays out here. A little bit of up trim. Goes up trim. I like it. All right, we're accelerating. Flaps are coming up. Nice. Yeah, this feels real good now. Yeah, this feels real good. I can move the joystick around. It's like I'm just got just nice, smooth. It's like I could feel the plane more, basically. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's real. Those are definitely what the sensitivities are. I'm looking forward to when they patch this. That way, the sensitivities are saved here on the Thrustmaster HOTAS One joystick. Yeah. All right, go ahead and do a traditional pattern here. So let's just go ahead and climb up here. Let's go ahead and do a proper crosswind leg. Keep climbing up. We're going to go ahead and climb all the way up. Pattern altitude here. And we're going to do a nice, big, easy, lazy pattern. Alright, got about 100 feet to go, so we can level out as soon as we get on the downwind. So let's go ahead and start our downwind. Pull back on the power. Continue our turn. Also continue to level off. A little bit of nose up trim since we came off the power. Oh, turned a little far there. There's no problem. We'll correct. Got a little bit of turbulence. We accelerate now. A little bit of nose down trim. There we go. Nice easy pattern. 6,000 feet. Right at about 80 knots. Got a little bit of turbulence out here now. Making it feel even more real. Got to get a little bit lighter on the old trim. I press it just I'm too heavy-handed with it. So, all right, we're abeam. Let's go ahead and we're in the white arc. So let's go ahead and drop a notch of flaps. Go ahead and come on back here. Start our base. Dialed in flaps. I'm gonna let the plane settle here before I really start dialing in trim. All right, here comes some trim. All right, let's go ahead and shoot for 65 knots now. Approach speed. Get set up here on our descent. Our approach. A little bit more down trim. All right, looking good. Looking good right here. Not really on the best base, but all right. A little fast now. Gonna come off the power. I like my attitude, but the power was a little high there. Use the smart view function. There we go. Lock on. All right, let's turn base to final. Here we go. 55 knots. 2 notch of flaps. Don't think we'll need much more than that. Oh, turn a little late again. Could have had that turn a little tighter. All right, we got the airport made. Gonna go to idle. I can now manage airspeed with pitch. 65 knots. Look at that. 65 knots right to the numbers. All right, go ahead and start the flare. Oh, a little bit of a balloon there. I gotta get used to these sensitivities now. Oh, a little bit of a balloon. A balloon. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Hold it off. There's a stall warning. Love it. Love it. That means that plane's not gonna fly. Just not gonna fly. Look at that. Man, that's nice. That was real nice. Oh, I'm gonna have to skip that one. I just wasn't paying attention enough. So, all right, let's go ahead and bring up the flaps. All right, well that worked out. All right, I like these sensitivities now. Oops, need to work on the brake sensitivity. Not paying attention to where I'm going. Whoa, there's like ruts in the runway or something. What did I do? Did I blow a tire? No, I'm serious. Like what? Why does the plane bounce around like that? Right. Yeah, that's definitely much better sensitivity all around. Look at this. Why is the plane bouncing so bad? Like I said, did I blow a tire? Here, let's get this here. Stop. Full stop. Brakes. Drone. Tires look good. Man, we need to clean the windshield. Look at this. Shit. What have they been doing in there? Whew. Uncle Mike, and Aunt Cindy, man, this looks like a handprint. She's been putting her hands all over the windows for some reason. Look at it. My side's pretty all nice and clean. Man, what the hell's going on? All right, let's go ahead and let's do a taxi to the ramp and let's shut her down. That's what I have to say about that. Oh, I guess when you're in drone, it takes you to active pause. Okay. Well. No, I don't think so. It was right here. See? Oh, okay. Just had the brakes on. No, it does. It does because I have no authority. I have no authority. Dane Flats, if you see that. So yeah, so it does. It puts you like on active pause or something if you go into. You can't control the airplane in drone mode. Note to self. Drone mode can lead to death. Let's go to external view then. And there we are. We'll just taxi over here. Nice little flight here this evening. Checking out the Thrustmaster HOTAS One flight stick and throttle. that Baron right there. That's cool. Beechcraft Baron. Don't want to take this guy's head off. Like another Beechcraft, another Beechcraft. Look at all damn Beechcraft. What is this? Like a sponsored airport of Beechcraft or something? Jeez. Little minivans. Let's come over here and use one of these for parking. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. Oh yeah. Parking brakes on. Look at that. All right, let's go ahead and look at the dash here. So let's nav lights can come off, strobes can come off. You can leave the beacon on because it's actually still there. Landing light come off. It's looking good. I'm just trying to see what else we got here. Looking. Yeah, other than that, all right. Let's. I did program in. Is it X? Yep. Mixture. Ooh. Man, took a bit for it to decide it was done. All right, turn it on. There we go. So there is our log here. Shut her down, get the log and all of that. So yeah, well, thanks for joining me here on my third live stream for Microsoft Flight Simulator here on the Xbox Series S. Figuring out some of the Thrustmaster, whatever it is, the Thrustmaster HOTAS One flight stick and throttle. And the issue right now that we've got on the Xbox with the flight stick is that the sensitivities are not saved. That's why I wanted to go ahead and do this live stream, get it recorded, so that way I have a record of what the sensitivities are that seem to work out for me. That way every time I start up the game, I've got to reset the sensitivities back to what I like. So, but I appreciate you joining. Please click that like button. If you enjoyed it, think about subscribing. I also am now doing travel videos with our little new camp teardrop trailer called Voyager. So there's kind of aerospace theme because I do have my aerospace engineering degree. So that's why I'm looking forward to Kerbal Space Program coming out here. Probably, I guess, next calendar year, but for the next gens. And so I'm looking forward to that. But I've also got some archive playlists of Kerbal Space Program and some other video game stuff. But I also do some travel videos and all of that. But so go check out those. If you enjoy them, like I said, click those like buttons too and give them a thumbs up. Subscribe and chime that bell to get notified. It's easy. It costs nothing. All you gotta do is click some buttons. But most of all, thumbs up because you are amazing. I'm your favorite YouTuber's favorite uncle. I am Uncle Mike.